So in 1995, I went to work for a small local company as a fabricator. Ended up that company was Advanced Adapters. Hey, we got you guys out of the shop today. Got a rare opportunity for us to get into a local business here. A little bit more of how we got access into that business in a minute, but we're going to take you on a little drive up and show you where we're going. Cool. Last pieces to that puzzle.
Yeah, definitely.
And we will pick that up and finish that off. Yeah. And let's go for a walk.
We're not shifting compared to what.
It's quite a bit different.
Yeah.
I like this. This is all.
Yeah, it's for the jail console. Yeah. But I mean, it's just more. It goes into gear easier than Atlas is used to.
I like the cast forks.
Yeah. This come along about the time you left. Yeah.
I think they came in when Kevin came back.
Well, no, they were in. Those were Jeff days.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we started having guys bend them really bad.
Yeah. I still saw fork. You know, I got one. In fact, Dan Mix, one of his TJ Atlas is one of the early ones. I'd probably look it up. You probably built it. I was talking to him. Still running. You know.
Well, I've seen some videos on YouTube that actually have my stamps in the back of them. Guys will be underneath their Jeeps. And I'm like, oh.
That's how I
stamped that one.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now that's how I stamped it.
Well, let's see. Because he sent me a picture.
There was one for sale online that had the writing on the top of it. The old paint pen.
Oh, yeah, we've done that.
And I'm like, I would almost
So if you know, so this is one of, probably a picture in here. One of them has a serial number of how it's, I see the bottom where it's stamped. Yeah.
Yep. The number stamps that were on the desk.
Yeah.
If you had that box and flipped it over.
Yeah.
I wrote the number of the last transfer case I built.
Oh yeah.
On the bottom of it.
But that's the little wooden. I know exactly what you're talking. The little
wooden box.
Yep.
It has the.
It's still here somewhere.
It literally has the number of the last. I signed it and wrote the number of the last one when I handed it off to Ocasio.
Yeah, so that's probably around a 5,000 serial number, probably somewhere in that ballpark.
I don't even think. I think it was 3,000 and something. I think.
Yeah.
So in 1995, I went to work for a small local company as a fabricator. Ended up that company was Advanced Adapters. Worked for them for approximately 3 years and received the opportunity to go work in their machine shop for a short period of time. Sometime thereafter, was approached by the owners of the company and they asked if I'd like to help develop a new product. Worked with the engineering group, and that product is what's now known as the Atlas transfer case. The engineer and I worked closely together to develop that product, took that product from concept into production, and shortly thereafter into a full product line. Because of my involvement with the development of the product line, I was asked to head the department which built the transfer case for the market. Built that transfer case for 6 years, probably close to 3,000 units that I produced, all the way from concept, the first Atlas transfer case, which was just the Atlas. Found some issues with that, developed another rendering of that, which was the Atlas 1 transfer case. And then what most of you guys know now in the industry is the Atlas 2 transfer case, was the product of the industry asking for more gear ratios, more flexibility in what we were doing. Ended up being the premier transfer case, in my opinion, in the industry, which still holds a strong foothold in that now. Arguably, in my opinion, one of the better designs on the market. So how did we get the access that we are seeing today? I'm still in contact with the owner, still friends. I had since left the industry, was out of the off-roading and four-wheel drive community for some time, ended up developing my career elsewhere, and now through YouTube, we're back in the off-roading and four-wheel drive industry. It started with a purchase of a Jeep JL that I planned on having as a daily driver, and quickly took all of those parts off and ended up in a wood bin that you might see out here in the yard, and developed the JL, which we currently drive now. We have another project in the works, which you guys will see shortly, and that'll be a little deeper dive for us into the extreme off-roading world. We haven't talked about our history or our background in the off-roading industry much. Part of that is by design. We kind of wanted to step into this world of the YouTube community without any background on us of who we were, how much we have been involved in the industry. This is now, through this video that we're watching now, is a little hindsight into what we are and where we came from. Hey, if you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button so that you can follow along with us.
Changed around a little bit.
Yeah, you guys had all your shipping cables back over here in the corner.
But still, the same shelves. How many tail housings are shimmed in that, do you think?
Probably.
There's been the bar in it.
Yep. I know I shimmed over 3,000 of them, man.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure you guys, Horacio used it well after I was gone.
Yeah.
So there's probably 9,000.
I think we used it up to, we were probably in the 10 or 12,000 serial number before we changed off that, using that case. We still use it for heavy duty 300 output shafts.
All that from a scrap
Bad case.
bad casting.
That's been around forever.
It doesn't do rats. To buy 2 cases at a time
Yeah.
of oil.
Yeah. Now it's pallet quantities. Radiator. You know, Brian sold custom aluminum radiator. So he got same stuff, but Brian's
Different guy.
Different guy. You know, you remember the Bronco crossover? How it was always a welded thing? Yeah.
Yep.
But actually, one to
I welded a whole bunch of those
but one actually to a formed piece instead.
for the early model Broncos.
Yeah. No, it was always a square tube welded together.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to make. And
Half a dozen pieces all angled together before.
it's a difference. You know, slip good linear shafts. You know, so then extra casting, bulk stuff here that didn't fit on the shelf because just trying to build stuff. You know, AOD Bronco stuff. I mean, shit, it's amazing how much we still sell of that.
Stuff we thought would go away.
Get right replacement bell housings. We're still doing a ton of them.
I thought those were just about done when I left. Like,
No, they're still going. You know, probably sell 20 a month. Well, I didn't know there's that many first gen 5-speed Dodges still around. Same YJ crossmember. Been tweaked a little bit over the years, but for the
It's just gold now instead of black.
Well, no, zinc plate. These are the color is right now. The zinc plater over in Fresno couldn't get the zinc for black, so we actually had to go gold. You know, it wasn't
Supply chain just sucks.
yeah.
Everybody.
Because we used to have everything, you know, zinc plate. You know, people see the gold and they think China, but no, it's
No.
made here and
It's all CAD 1 or CAD 2 plated.
yeah. But you know, when you're behind it, you want to wait 3 weeks for them to zinc it, or you know, gold it is.
Plate it so that it doesn't rust and
Rusted.
ship it to me.
Exactly. Here's the actual machines in work with the gun.
Oh man. About every 2 or 3 months, that thing used to get completely filled with foam. Somebody would grab the handle and push the button as they grab the handle and it would
Yeah.
fill it full of foam.
Exactly. Shipping stuff over here for the Atlas. Really. We got workstations now. You know, you see all the sub-assemblies starting to assemble. You know, coming through. House is doing all the chipper kits, get those all boxed and ready, and he'll do all the finals.
So the welding on the back is JEF.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Everett Fogo.
Yeah.
So it's Jeff Fogo.
Yeah.
He's a welding instructor now at the men's colony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the OG.
You know, now everything's sub-assembly, so now they'll be able to whip through a bunch of cases quick. They're building. They'll have 60 cases built. They start at this afternoon. They'll have either 62 on the schedule, and they'll have those done by Wednesday.
That's good. You said you're about 1,000 in the hole.
High 800s. We'll do the math. I mean, it's 50 a week divided by.
Yeah. So if you're on the wait list, understand that that's what the wait list looks like.
We'll make some of the people happy this week.
Yeah, they're never all happy. You machining cases in house still, or you bringing them in?
Oh no, are all done. Mill free. That's all mill free does. All day, every day. It never sets up. It never runs anything else other than Atlas cases.
So there's a debate in the YouTube world, I guess. Is Atlas a product or is Atlas a brand?
Advanced Adapters manufactures a product called Atlas.
There we go.
That's the name of the product.
It bugs me. I've heard it on a lot of YouTube channels. A lot of people talking about wanting to get a hold of Atlas. It's not Atlas. You're going to call Advanced Adapters. Advanced Adapters makes the product, the Atlas transfer case.
Yep.
That's who you're going to get a hold of.
Atlas is just the name of the transfer case. That and overdrives. Still, we've got probably 60 Saturns on order right now that we're putting together.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember when the rollers used to come in a wax strip.
We don't
and
do
you
it.
counted them out, cut them off.
No,
Bill
no.
changed that. Bill changed it to
The little
oil-
block.
little grease with the little milled slots in it.
Those same blocks are still here. It's funny, my wife actually loads all the needles. She loves doing it, so I take home the sun gear, the box of needles, everything else. So she sits back and she sits at home and rolls all of them because nobody else wants to do it.
Bill used to be so good at it. He'd take them and just
That's it.
roll them up. I never could do it. I had big old monkey hands and
Well, it's not that anyone else doesn't want to do it, it's just they don't trust this bill.
Yeah,
Like,
this
I need
is
another
Bill's
50 years to
replacement
go.
bill.
Yeah.
this is new Bill.
This is new Bill.
Yeah, they'll find paperwork from 2014 that says ask Bill for this snap ring wire, and they'll ask me, and I'm like, it's right here.
Well,
It's just
okay.
the spirit of Saturn.
Tom used to work here
Oh, yeah.
years ago. He was in the Atlas department from day one. Bill. And he left here, what did we say, 17 years ago?
17 years ago.
But Mr. Bill that ran this,
Oh, yeah.
but he knows, he can vouch, he had his little stash places that he would hide stuff. So when you needed it,
Yeah.
you'd go, hey Bill, where's
Yeah,
Yep.
I found a lot of cool, weird shaped tools that I haven't learned how to use yet. But one day I hope to.
Yeah. You could probably call him up and he could tell you, oh, that's for this and only this application in this situation, and it goes right here.
Yeah. But we got to keep a building the Saturn department, or like
Yeah.
world.
They don't work right if Bill's not building. The fab shop hasn't changed much.
No,
You know, it's still pretty much the same.
how many fabricators you guys got now?
Just two. You know, Danasso's still here. Chris is still here.
Yep.
Of course, this is all the old school crib underneath here back in the day.
So this was still hobbing and grinding when I left.
Right, because all the hobs used to hang on the wall over here.
Yep.
And then the other side where the CMM room was the tool cage that we had caged in and
Yep.
linked. We'll go upstairs to the antique mall.
I think there's stuff up here probably that I moved from the Santabella building, which I think moved from the Commerce Way building over to the Santabella building.
Yeah.
I'd bet money that some of these bell housings were
No, without doubt.
probably around way before me.
But I really brought you up because you were talking about the peanut case.
There is still some around. So this was the first gen Atlas 1.
Well, that's before. This is Atlas 1. Cluster.
So this was Atlas.
Yeah.
Then we did Atlas 1.
Yeah.
That one was really good. The problem is that the gears just didn't like to stay in it. Split the case open. But nothing you can't fix. Bigger and better design. Move to this guy. This guy actually performed really well. It's a Bronco application.
Yeah.
And then
3.5 to 1 low range. Those are the only options.
yep, one low range ratio, and the market started screaming for more gear ratios. So in order to get more gear ratios, we went back to the drawing board and made a Atlas 2, widened the center to center distances out in it, and made, at that time, we had what, 3.8 and 4.3.
Then we added 3.0 and then 5 O's and 6 O's came along and 2 O's.
So more and more options, more and more market share. The rest of the market didn't like us very much.
Yeah.
Remember John Curry saying he was pretty upset.
Yeah.
He'd never broken an axle shaft, and we built the transfer case, and then all of a sudden he started getting axle shafts back that were twisted in two.
Yeah.
That was all back when the Chrome Molly was the best of the best.
Yeah.
Then they built the 300M axle shaft. Then the driveline guys hated it.
Yeah. Then they moved full circle where instead of breaking the Atlases again.
The only one I ever had that was broken came out of that Ultimate Off-Road Adventure.
The Avalanche?
Yeah, Avalanche.
That's the one that fell out.
Well, come to find out, they broke the drive shaft in it and drove it like 15 miles on the asphalt with a chunk of drive shaft like that long, hanging off the back of the transfer case, and broke the transfer case in half and shipped it back to us. So the thing just broke the transfer case fell off. When we pulled it out, the transfer case was broke, drive shaft was ripped in two, the transmission was broken 3 places, and all the bolts were pulled out of the bell housing. So yeah, it broke.
And you know, the funny part is Fred still got that thing.
Really?
It's still here in town.
So I broke that thing the day Petersons came to pick it up.
Yeah.
So
Back when it was red
and black and
red
gray.
with the gray stripes or whatever it was.
Yeah, so me and Kevin took it out to play with it out here.
Yeah.
And we wanted to see it, that had that big block in it.
Yeah.
We wanted to see if it'd do a burnout. So we locked it in low range and tried to do a burnout in it. And it just started to spin the tires and axle wrapped and ripped the shock in half. And the magazine guys were coming to pick it up. So we hauled butt back here, ran in the shop with it, and we're kind of freaking out a little bit. And they walked in and looked at it and goes, oh, that's why there's 6 more shocks in the back of it. It axle wraps like that every time you spin the tires, and it rips the shock in half. So we had to spend about 4 hours in here, cut the shock mounts off, rotated the shock mounts, welded it all back together, and then sent them back out on the road so they quit doing it.
The ultimate adventure build stories that we could speak from this place. There's multiples. In here, we put keep this climate control in here nowadays, so you can measure everything. It's always the same temperature.
That makes a lot of sense. We did a lot of thermal guessing.
Yeah. Then we got our own laser etcher, so we do all our shift knobs and all the other stuff in here. So we're laser etching all that stuff. You know, it's really nice. No plate. The displays, it makes making the displays for the shows a lot easier.
For long shoots.
Yeah.
You guys bought a nice CMM.
Yeah.
Load the program in it and tell it measure, and it says good or not.
Yeah. Well, for these guys who might not know, if you look at this diagram, that'd be the diagram of a human hair. That red dot's how far down it measures to.
It's nice to be able to laser etch and
The more stuff you can control yourself,
well, that's just it. I mean, that's.
you don't have to depend on somebody.
I mean, we used to ship gears across the country, right? So,
Well, Jerry,
we would blank them out here, put them on a truck, and ship them all the way back east.
to Iowa.
Yep. He would cut all the profiles in them, send them directly to our heat treater. Then we would bring them back here, do all the grind on the internal bores, then hand polish all the synchro rings, and hurry up and wait. At least now you can prioritize yourself and get done what you need when you need. So we just got done with a plant tour of advanced adapters, and we're gonna get out of here. I think we're gonna go have some lunch. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one.